This week on a podcast from beneath, Borderland.
Coming to get you, Barbara.
It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder. The unburied dead are coming back to life, seeking human victims.
Billy, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Kind of tired, but that's what happens when you work. Mr. Poe, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Yeah, I'm wide awake, ready to go. I'll carry you.
All right. You may have to.
Both.
I'll just
We'll both
I'll
carry
just
you.
be the moderator of this one.
Oh yeah.
So, Billy, what have you been up to? You haven't been on here for a while. You were on for one, and then you didn't come back.
He disappeared.
Yeah, I fell asleep probably a little bit after I'd watched I think it was Jason X for a couple hours. I woke up and I was like, oh shit.
When I wake up in the morning and the alarm clock's warning.
Yeah, those naps where you wake up and you're just confused to where you're at.
Yeah, he's like, well, am I in my own house?
Yeah. It was strange. I was like, oh shit.
I'm
Fucked up.
so late.
I watched the movie for nothing.
So, what else have you been watching?
Been watching Hannibal with the girlfriend where I got done with the second season.
Oh man.
You gonna watch Clarice when it
I've
comes
already
out?
seen before. I don't know. Is it the same people that did Hannibal?
I don't know. I know it's a different. I don't think it involves. I think it takes place different, in a different. It takes place after Silence of the Lambs, and the storyline, but so I don't know who all's really in it.
I don't know. They shouldn't do Clarice until they got done with doing Hannibal. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, the only Hannibal now to me is Mads Mikkelsen because he's just awesome, dude.
I prefer him a little bit more than Anthony Hopkins.
Well, I still like Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, I do too, but I think that role right there is Mads now.
What about Brian Cox? Wasn't he a good
Hannibal?
In Manhunter?
Yeah.
I guess it was all right, but I mean, Anthony Hopkins fucking.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
So if you're gonna rank them,
yeah.
Oh, it'd be Mads, Hopkins, and then I guess Cox.
Mr. Poe, you gonna rank them?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Anthony Hopkins and Mads, and then Brian Cox.
Cox. All right,
Quid pro quo. I love that movie.
Is that all you've been watching, Billy?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, that and Simpsons. But
New season or going back and watching old ones?
Oh, old ones. I think I'm on season 10 or 11. But I watched it a while back. I got into the 20th season. I started over because I pinpointed where the Simpsons started getting bad. Probably right after the 16th season.
I don't know. I stopped watching them after the movie.
Is to you? That's
yeah. I watched the movie and then I just for some reason never went back and watched the show anymore.
That was it for you.
Yeah, probably. Maybe the same for me. Maybe, or maybe I didn't watch it long after that. But the movie was pretty good though.
I've done the same thing with the X-Files. I watched the movie and then that was it.
There's two movies.
Well, no, but I'm just saying I never went back and finished the show.
I got you.
Oh, so probably because after what David Duchovny left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Robert Patrick is that his name?
Yep. So, have you been watching anything new, Mr. Poe?
Well, not new. I went through the Scream franchise, And then I started watching the TV show on MTV, the MTV version. I've been watching the show, getting ready for part 5. I think part 5 is coming out next year. Or
Yeah,
not
'cause
part
Is
5,
it?
but the reboot, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, is it Scream 5 or is this gonna be called Scream? Are
I
they
think
doing
it's
like
just
the
Scream.
Halloween?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. But because I was on that show, Horror After Midnight, with Casey and Slinky, and they were talking Scream. We were talking Scream 3, and it was like, I gotta watch these now. So I bought them on Vudu, and then the series is on Netflix, I believe. So
Hey,
that's what I've been into.
I only saw the first 3, but I enjoyed all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Even though 3 is the the weakest, it has its moments.
Yeah, we went all into that, and I would love for us to cover the franchise. That would be a cool deep dive to go into next, is the Scream franchise, because they're real fun movies. I mean, just the first 2, man, so brutal killings
Yeah, I
all
remember I
around. It
couldn't.
was
I
crazy.
wanted to see the movie in theaters. Couldn't go see it.
Yeah, well, I think I saw all of them in the theater when they came out.
I think I saw all of them in the theater except for that last one that had
Oh, part 4. Yeah, I didn't see that one either in the theater.
like Emma Roberts was in it. I think. Is
Yeah,
that the
Emma
right one?
Roberts, Hayden Panettiere,
Yeah,
and then
I
of
didn't see that one.
course all the original people.
I had no interest in seeing that one, but it was like on, I don't know, like Cinemax or something. I remember watching it. I just didn't care for it.
Yeah. Oh, the other new thing before I forget, I watched the Blade standalone movie from the Puppet Master series, Blade: The Iron Cross.
Oh, was it any good?
Uh,
I think
those
that is
movies
a
are just
yes.
so crazy. I mean, whatever. I mean, I love the Puppet Master series, and Blade is one of my favorites. It's just, yeah, it's something.
Full Moon's gone downhill, I think.
I
I saw a real
I think
bad. I
they're
mean, a
just.
real bad one. Like their
What'd you see?
quality. I can't remember. It was like looked like they had just filmed in an abandoned building. Like they didn't have no permit or nothing. It was just like it. I really. Can't, it was like this little demon was like
Oh yeah.
I can't remember. It was awful. It was bad.
Well,
So
I
bad.
think they're just trying to get them out as fast as they can. Like the Deadly 10, he hyped that thing up since 2019, and he's been hyping up the Deadly 10, and now everybody's like, where is it? And he keeps coming out with them, and of course the product suffers a little bit, because I watched The Littlest Reich, and that was I thought that was decently done. I actually enjoyed watching that. It still has the silly elements of Puppet Master, but this one with Blade Iron Cross, it just I can deal without watching it again. I would watch The Littlest Reich again because I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, see, the first Puppet Master wasn't goofy or a comedy. You know what I'm saying?
No, it was more serious. Yeah, dude, do you remember those commercials? Like back in the day, real late at night, it would be like the commercial would go, the Puppet Master series. And then you'd see like they sold the dolls. And then the next commercial would be for the Highlander sword.
Yeah.
Like Duncan MacLeod.
Oh man,
You
I
remember
forgot.
that?
The TV show or the movie?
No,
Highlander?
I'm talking about these late night commercials where they sold their crap. It was like you could buy the Puppet Master dolls, or then there was another one. It was the Highlander sword and something else. I forgot what else they had on there, but it was funny. I mean, they just showed them all the time. That's what played before Girls Gone Wild got found out.
Oh, okay.
that they would sell stuff like instead of porn.
So the HBO released like a bunch of trailers. They showed like Kong versus Godzilla.
Like a snippet, right?
Yeah, it just showed like little pieces of each movie that they're releasing like
Huh.
this year that were supposed to originally come out in. Well, I guess they're still coming out in theater, but it'll be theater and HBO Max the same day.
Oh, okay.
And at the very end of the commercial, it says The Matrix. So The Matrix is coming out this year
What?
on HBO Max. The new Matrix.
What else could they do with the Matrix unless it's a different
Yeah,
storyline
I don't
around the
know.
same
I know.
time?
I know everybody's coming back for it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just weird. I don't know what else you could do with
Well,
it.
they reset the Matrix, and now we're just watching the new one.
Oh God! So they reset the Matrix and it just rebooted the Matrix. That's all they did.
Well, it'll be different. I mean, they even say that in the first movie, or like not the first movie, but the first series of movies. That he's like the fifth iteration of the one.
Yeah.
So it just keeps getting reset and it's different. So I mean, it could be a different.
Who
I'm not saying it's going to
knows?
be. I'm not going to say it's
I'm
going to
not.
be Keanu Reeves this time, but
Yeah,
No, it always will be Keanu Reeves.
he is the one. He is
He
Neo.
is the one. He is Neo.
no,
No, I
he
mean,
was one of them. Doesn't mean he
No,
was
he
all
is
the
the
other
only one. He's the only one.
I'll tell you what. The first one set so many they set so many bars so high, and everybody was chasing that. That action scene in the building is still one of the best. That whole ending when they're getting Morpheus out of the building, that was just so kick ass. And then you got part 2 and the horrible CGI, and part 3, and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah,
Because
I remember
part 1
seeing
was
the.
just
I loved all
so
three of them. I
badass.
loved all three of them.
I can't remember the second or third.
The story's fine, but what I'm telling the CGI. Really, when Neo's in the playground area and he's fighting off all those guys in the apartment complex, and they're
I
all
get
like,
it. I get it. They looked rubbery.
so stupid. They look terrible.
Yeah.
I get it. It looked bad, but
Oh,
still,
it looked worse.
you got to start somewhere.
Worse than bad.
And now they really haven't done anything after that, have they? Like, all the
They've
movies
done.
after that, it's been like flops, right?
Yeah, I don't think they've had any big hits. I mean, they've done other stuff, but
I know they
The
did that.
Wachowski, I'm not going
Cloud
to say brothers
Atlas.
anymore.
They did that
Yeah,
Cloud Atlas.
no.
I'm pretty sure.
So they're not known as see, when they first came out, they were Wachowski brothers, but I think one is transgender now, right?
Yeah, I think they both
So-
are.
They both are?
I
thought
think
it was just.
I think it was just the one.
I thought it
one,
was.
I thought
Well,
it was
anyway,
both.
I mean the Wachowski team. We'll call them that. I don't know.
Kowski siblings.
We'll see
Yeah,
what
they,
else they come out with.
They did it was a Cloud Atlas and
I don't know. I can't remember anything else that they've done.
yeah, that's the only movie I can think of.
Jupiter Ascending.
Did they do Run Lola Run?
Oh
Or they
no.
did something.
Well, they done
They did-
V for Vendetta.
Oh,
That
okay,
was
yeah,
after
that was a good
after
one.
the Matrix, right?
Okay, yeah, V.
Yeah, V for Vendetta is a badass movie too.
I didn't really care for that one either.
Yeah.
What?
V.
That was a good
I just
movie.
couldn't get into it. I don't know. I guess it was just hyped up too
Yeah.
much.
I want to read the comic about V for Vendetta.
That
Kind
would
of feel
be
like that's
cool.
what's
Alan Moore.
happening right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
What everything's getting. Every comic's getting made to a movie or a show.
No, I think the V for Vendetta, that's what's going on in the world.
Oh,
right?
you're talking about the
yeah.
concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It is kind of weird to see all that, and then you think about today and all that. It's kind of weird, especially pandemic movies and stuff.
Yeah, no.
It's going to turn into Night of the Living Dead. So
I hope it's Return of the Living Dead. I think I could survive that one because it's more comical.
okay, I'm totally dead. Okay, in a zombie apocalypse, because I'd be like the crazy guy trying to like fight them all off. Get off my property and stuff, and they probably get me. They'd probably rip my arm off or something. I'd be dead. I wouldn't survive.
I may survive for a little bit, but I'll eventually die.
How would you die in a zombie apocalypse?
I'd probably be like, I can't take this anymore and just hang myself.
He'd be in the Walmart bathroom taking selfies
Yeah.
and they'd bust him
Yeah.
and kill him on the toilet.
And I'll take pictures while they're eating me.
So what? So Carrie, what are you going to be, like the crazy woodsman or something? You're going to like?
That's right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So I'm the idiot. Billy's hiding. He's the camper, and then I'll probably take a couple of them out with me.
Yeah, you probably would. It should be pretty easy.
I feel
I
like
don't
somebody
know.
you don't like. Oh my god, they were bit. No, it wasn't. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. That guy never returned my leaf blower. I'm gonna kill his ass right now and be legit too.
You fucking ruined my life.
Yeah, but I haven't seen anything else new. I haven't really watched anything. I haven't been in the mood to watch really anything, but I did
There's stuff I
watch.
want to see, but there's not stuff I haven't seen that's like out yet.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I
guess
did watch.
Oh,
Oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I watched before I forgot Wonder Woman 84. I did see that.
How was it?
I thought it was okay. There's one thing I'm gonna pick on, and it's hilarious, and you could probably see it in like a clip. But there's a scene where she saves these two kids out of the road, and like freaking they're over there in the Middle East, and she swings and grabs both of the boy and the girl and gets them out of the way of these trucks that are hauling ass down the road because there's a chase scene. And then when she lands, they're so obviously like dummies that she's holding. It's so funny. I was like, you spent all this money, DC, and this is what you come out with? What is this? Like, it didn't even look real at all. It was hilarious.
Wait, so that takes place in what, 1984?
Yeah,
And-
1984.
And then Chris, what's his name? Chris.
Yeah, that
Chris
whole
Pine.
thing, it's weird.
He aged very well.
No, he died. He died.
Yeah, he died in the first Wonder Woman.
But how they
Let
I
me
don't
guess.
remember.
Well, I can guess. I'm just going to guess. I haven't
Okay,
seen it
you
yet,
guess.
but I'm going to guess.
You guess.
Because I think there's something in this movie to do with you getting your wish, right?
Yes.
So she probably wished that he would come back, and he comes back. And then,
Yeah, but not in the way you think.
well, I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's how they explain, right? Like, she wishes him to come back,
Pretty much.
But she can grant wishes.
and then
Yeah, she's a genie.
Uh-huh.
No, it's an artifact they find, and
the Mandalorian gives her
the Mandalorian.
gives her
She has-
her wish
she has
powers.
She has the dark saber.
Yeah.
But if
Oh, doesn't the guy that played the Mandalorian play in this movie?
I think
Pedro
so.
Pascal.
I think he's in it.
Oh yeah, he's the bad
Yeah,
guy then.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he's
what I
the
was
bad
saying.
guy.
And then Kristen Stewart or whatever, she wishes she was a
Is it
cat.
Kristen Wiig?
Yeah. She
Dude,
wishes,
that's weird.
She
That
wishes
was a
that
weird.
she was a cat.
That was a weird casting choice.
Dude, the
Maybe
whole
'cause I'm
movie's
always
kind of weird.
Seeing her.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed it, but it's kind of weird. The action scenes are pretty cool. It's the story is kind of weird, and I just don't I don't know. They could have done something different. It was just I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to. Maybe someone will
what
want
I
to
am
watch
looking
it.
forward to that's going to be on the HBO Max thing is the new Suicide Squad.
Okay, yeah,
You haven't seen the trailer or the stuff for it. It's going to be really good.
yeah. I've seen the trailer.
James Gunn is doing it.
Yeah, I'm just a fan of James Gunn's stuff.
Yeah.
So everything he touches is like just a fun movie. I mean, Slither, Super.
Yeah, I think not only are they acknowledging the first movie, but they're basically making fun of the first movie. Like in
Oh,
this
nice.
movie. So it should be. Pretty
Yeah, he's also doing that Peacekeeper show with John Cena. James Gunn is.
I haven't heard of that one yet.
I hadn't heard of that either.
Yeah, he's writing the pilot, and he's going to like produce the John Cena. Plays a guy named, I guess, Peacemaker. And
Okay.
The show's going to be involved around him. It's either a show or miniseries or something. I can't remember. But yeah, James Gunn's involved with that. But yeah, like I said, his movies are just fun. Every movie that he does is fun. Like Guardians was like the pretty much first like Marvel movie that I actually like fucking liked. Like thought this was really good. The others I could really care less about.
Yeah, he's a good. Started with Trauma, so he's he's doing pretty good for himself now.
He got that money.
Yeah, but the only thing new I watched.
Oh yes.
It's not a new movie, but it was new to me, and that was Borderland.
Right.
Billy, what'd you think about Borderland from 2007, I guess? Maybe 2009, depending on what country you live in.
Um. It was okay. Some of the acting, especially like not the main dude, but the friend, the guy that's trying to like
Ryder
he's a fucking
Strong.
no, no,
Oh, the guy
Ryder
had
Strong,
like
the
the
one that
longer
acts
hair.
like he's just like a fucking badass. Yeah, like he kind of got on my nerves a little bit. He's like trying so hard, like yeah, I'm fucking macho, I'm the fucking pussy smasher. Like he was just that fucking attitude. I didn't really care for it. Um, they had some pretty good gore effects.
Yeah.
The beginning of the movie is crazy. Didn't expect all that to happen. Um, I mean, I wasn't bored with her. Like it kept my attention. It wasn't bad. It was okay.
Mr. Poe.
Um, I really like this movie. Um, the actual story that they base this off of is wilder than they could ever put in this movie. I mean, the head, the El Padrino, the cult leader, in real life, Adolfo Costanzo, he actually had a cult in Mexico, and all the drug lords and everything would go to him, and he would claim that he had magical powers and he could have their shipments protected, but he actually had an inside man to let him know when shipments can go where. So he built up his following that way. So that's what this movie is kind of loosely based on. Adolfo in real life, he was gay. This guy that plays him in the movie, he's not. But the scene, a couple of the scenes in there are actually something that did happen. He would chop people up. They rip people up with machetes all the time. And the reason being is that, their cult leader told them to do it. And so they put it in the pot or the nganga to give that thing power so they could, be protected. So
The shit people believe.
yeah, I'm telling, the actual story is just crazy. But the movie, I'll go back to the movie. Sorry, I can go into this whole thing because I really was interested in it when I found, I've always heard about it back in the day until, the last year. And then I started getting into, different cults, and I'm kind of fascinated by it. But the movie is awesome. It's not awesome. I really did enjoy it, though. I think they did a good job. Like you said, the practical effects in it, I mean, the gore in it, everything is just crazy. So I did enjoy it, and I probably watch it again too.
All right, going back to the true event that happened.
Yeah.
um, so they were sacrificing people because they thought that it would make their drug vans invisible.
Yeah,
And
like
that's how they got caught, because some guy, one of their drug runners, was just running across the border full daylight because he thought that his van was invisible.
well, no, the story was they messed up big time when they killed a American college student, because he wanted the Nganga to be smart. So he told his guys, look out for a medic and make sure he or she is a medical student. They're going to be very smart, so they can make our Nganga smart, so we can, outmaneuver these cops, because what they had was a whole shit ton of weed they were sitting on and they couldn't move it. So he would use that as his thing. But the crazy thing is that people were so blinded by him, like they just believed everything he said. They followed on every word. And that guy, he actually ran. See, the Mexico police actually had different barricades up, or checkpoints set up, checking for, different things. They're looking for this college student, and that idiot, he was going to the ranch, and he just like drove through them like they weren't even there. and then they followed him, and he was and he led them to the ranch.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Man, the whole story, like I said, is crazy, and the movie just touches on just a little bit of it.
Yeah, I wish, because when the movie, this was one of those movies where I turned it on and it said resume, which means I had previously started watching it.
Oh shit.
And just forgot about
you
it.
watched it a long time ago.
So I started it over, and I kind of wish the story would have stuck with those guys more instead of following our three idiot Americans.
Yeah, trying to look for their friend.
Yeah, because it was that other side of the story would have been a lot more entertaining to watch. Because it was almost like the story of these three of the eventually it's just the two guys that are looking for Ryder Strong the whole time. It just turns into it's just Hostile. It's the
Pretty
same.
much.
Yeah, that's all it is. Like
Pretty
this
much.
is like Hostile with this drug gang thrown at the end of it.
And that dude, the bald guy, the menacing looking guy.
Mm-hmm.
You remember him? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That actor, he's actually has passed away since then. He did a fantastic job, dude. I mean, he just was menacing looking, and he was the evil looking. You know, he played that part of a psycho really well, I thought. No, he wasn't one, but I mean, you know what I mean? He did a real good job of it. I forget what his name is,
but not knowing anything about it, watching it, and then with that opening, like Billy said, it was a really good opening. I was expecting like more, because it says it's a horror movie, so I was expecting like something supernatural or whatever, and it just never happened. So I don't know why it's listed as a horror movie.
Well, I mean,
I expected some kind of like. I expected at one point I was like, oh, because at the cover has like a goat head and stuff. So I thought maybe it was gonna be like a goat monster or something, but it wasn't.
Yeah, you hope, like, I hope a goat monster shows up. But but like the cutting the guy's arm off at the beginning and ripping his eyes out, that was pretty good special effects. I mean,
yes,
nobody really does an empty eye socket that looks believable, but but I think they missed out on some of the other scenes, like when there's like 8 guys going on one guy with like and they all have machetes, and it doesn't show anything.
That was crazy.
Like, it didn't show anything. I'm like, oh, like they missed out on a good opportunity there.
It all went to the beginning. It all went to the beginning scene of the movie.
I guess. I just kept thinking, man, like the movie Green Room done like machete attacks really well.
Yes.
And and then now you have this movie. It's like, okay, there's this guy being chopped up by 8 machetes, and they don't show anything. I was like, oh.
You just see him swinging and going at him.
His limbs didn't come off either. That's what I thought.
Well, no, they chopped that one arm off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But whenever he's just laying there and they're all chopping on him, it does like it cuts to his face a couple of times, but
see in the
missed out.
In the real story, the friends didn't do all that. You know what I mean? They didn't go looking for him or any. I mean, they tried to look for him, but they didn't.
So the story of the 3 guys going down there, that's part of the real story, or
what is
the 3 guys going down there? And
the real story was 3 friends. They were over there partying in Mexico. Matamoros. I can't get it out. But anyway, they're over there. They're partying, and then their friend, he needed to take a piss, so he went off in the bushes, and they kept walking. And then they realized he wasn't behind him or anything. And that's when those guys acted as cops, and they, the cult acted as cops and drug his ass in the van and drove him out to the ranch. And that's where he was held. Sean Astin, that was a surprise. Sean Astin being in this movie.
Sean Astin and then Ryder Strong, they're both from the Cabin Fever series.
Yeah. But
I mean, they've done other things, obviously, Lord of the Rings and Boy Meets World, but who cares about those?
Right.
It'd have been funny if like Ben Savage was in it. He played the guy that was captured.
But a lot of the stuff is they did take from that story, and then a lot of it they just added in, like the friends going and like, I'm gonna go we gotta find him. We're not leaving him behind. And of course, those guys probably didn't want to, but they started getting the authorities involved. They didn't go off on their own. That one cop that was in it, whenever they went to go get him, that is kind of true, but they were still, he wasn't like banished from the, being a cop or anything like in the movie. They just ran into roadblocks anytime they asked questions about it, because all these higher ups were part of this cult. And, anytime they needed any cooperation, they didn't get it because they were making too much money. so that part is kind of true.
Yeah, I just didn't realize that the three, like, I just thought that was just the storyline just to get everything else in there.
No, that's just loosely based on it. You know what I mean? Like they added a bunch of stuff in it. And there's some stuff they could have put in it, but it would have been NC-17. I mean, some of the stuff that these guys did.
They could have done that. I mean, I don't think it's come out in theaters.
Yeah. There's a lot of crazy stuff. I suggest someone look into it. If they're really interested in that story, to look into it. I don't want to mention too much on here.
Yeah, I believe the actor's name that you were talking about was Marco Bacuzzi.
Yeah, he passed away, I think, a couple years back. But I really appreciated his job. I thought the camera work was real good in it. I thought, it gave it that dark, gritty look. Yeah, blood and gore I thought was on point.
Oh, what I thought was funny is when Ryder Strong was about to get laid, and that baby cries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she like hands him the baby. I was like, who the fuck does that? Like, I was here to fuck, but now you're holding my baby.
Yeah. He's like, your baby's here? She's like, I live here. I was like, okay.
I not only fuck here, I live here.
Hey, what was that? The chick's name that he teams up with to go find his friend. She was on Altered Carbon the first season.
Martha Hagaredia.
Anyway, she's hot. she's real good.
She looked really different with her hair pulled back, and then when her hair wasn't pulled back.
Yeah. Well, she was.
I thought it was like two different. I thought it was two different women at first. Like, is that the same girl?
The confusion. How many of these chicks are in here?
Yeah. So was the Sean Astin character? Was that true? Was he a guy that had killed people in California and moved to Mexico?
No,
because that would have been a really good story. I would rather watch that movie too.
Right? No, the real thing was he was the kid that got kidnapped was being taken care of by one of the caretakers of the property. He wasn't Sean Astin or a white guy. He was just,
It'd be funny if it was Sean Astin. Yeah, after I got done with
yeah. But no, he was being taken care of by someone. They were feeding him until they were ready for the sacrifice.
Yeah, after the Goonies, he just couldn't find work, so he killed
some
prostitutes
he went
in LA
to Mexico and started
went to Mexico.
Yeah.
And when he got done with that, he did Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
The Rudy cult.
The Rudy cult.
You have to watch Rudy 20 times in a row.
And then you'll get it.
Never seen that movie.
It's been forever.
I don't want to cross lines, but I don't like that movie, but I'm not going to go too far into it. I have a whole rant on that movie, and I'm just not going to go into it.
All right. Yeah, I thought the ending was like kind of just built up to nothing.
Yeah, I thought once you go do it,
like,
he realized what he did. He's like, breathing real hard.
And of course, the cop goes in there and like, okay, now you've got the guy, right? You've got the bad guy. He's naked in a bathtub. You have a shotgun. And you hit him with it, and it's like, come on.
I'd have blew his fucking dick off.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't.
I'd have made that motherfucker suffer.
Well, and yeah, the actual character, the real guy, he was hiding from the cops, and they were trying to find him. Well, the cops were superstitious. They ran into all that crap, that cultist crap. So they had their own priest with them, or their own holy guy with them. And they're like, how are we going to catch this guy? And he's like, you know how to catch him? Burn down that hut. That's where he thinks all of his power is. So they burn it down. Adolfo's in Mexico City in like some penthouse. And he sees it on the news. The cops burning his shit down, and he flips out and starts throwing money and gold coins off the balcony of the place, flipping the hell out. And then by the time the cops cops showed up, and by the time anybody got there to go see if they can arrest him, he was already dead. Him and his boyfriend got killed. So they got shot up. They weren't naked in a bathtub or anything.
Yeah, like I said, I think the ending was it was kind of a letdown.
That other thing I told you would have been a better ending. That would have been a great ending. Like, holy crap, this guy lost his shit. But they did what they could.
I mean, again, I was expecting. I mean, because I know it can be loosely based on something that really happened, and you can add stuff to it. Like they probably should have added some supernatural stuff to it, or
I get what you're saying. Yeah, make it
some kind of big pit opens up the end and Satan comes out or something.
Oh shit, that would have been okay. We're rewriting this movie.
I don't know. It's kind of
I like y'all's goat monster idea. I like that.
Yeah,
just
goat
a
monster would have
goat
been good.
monster comes out of hell.
Or a chupacabra.
There you go.
El chupacabra.
Or man bear pig.
A man bear pig?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll make a movie called Man Bear Pig versus Chupacabra.
Yes. And a goat monster, because Chupacabra's not a goat. He eats goats.
Let's say, what's that goat man name? Behemoth or something like that. What does it be? Like, fuck, what's his name? I know there's a name for that goat man. I can't remember. Yeah, there's a throughway between him, man bear pig, and Chupacabra.
And
what if it was the My Pillow guy?
The My Pillow guy.
Secret agent man. Hey, no, you know what? This would top it off. Okay, so all these monsters are battling, and everything's in rubble. And then what happens? A hole opens up from the earth, and out comes Spider Tit.
There you go.
Spider Tit. Come to rule over his domain.
Yes.
Yeah, we should just make remember that movie? Came out like years ago. It's called Monsters Brawl.
Yeah.
We'll just do a Monsters Brawl too.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, Monsters Brawl. It's like all these wrestlers.
Like a brawl?
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a wrestling between monsters and this shit. I didn't see it, but I remember watching the trailer.
I have.
Like, witch bitch.
My brother got me the Blu-ray. I have the Blu-ray.
That's funny.
And it's a movie, or?
Yes.
Yeah. Has Jimmy Hart's in it?
Yeah.
Monsters Brawl. I have to look this one up.
My brother's like, oh, you're into horror movies. He's like, I bought us one to watch. We never watched it, and I still have it. It's the Monsters Brawl. I was like,
see, I thought you were saying brawl, like a
like a brawl,
like a Victoria's Secret's brawl.
No, it's a brawl.
You mean like a fight?
I'm confused. A monster brawl.
Brawl.
I think that's a different type of movie.
Yeah,
that's why I was
Monster
confused.
Brawl.
That's an X-rated movie.
That's why I was confused. Brawl. Yeah, sounds like something you'd see on Pervy the Clown.
Shout out to Pervy, man.
Thanks for invading my nightmares.
Oh shit.
No, yeah, I remember seeing it. It was like what, Swamp Gut and fucking Witch Bitch, and a bunch of other crazy names. It was funny.
We should have watched that movie then.
Right?
We should have watched that instead of Borderland.
Well, I picked this one a long time ago when I was really reading into all this, but I'm glad
that's probably when I watched it the first time and just forgot about it.
Yeah. Well, I like that we covered it because it's actually something that really happened. And they used quite a bit of the true story to make this,
It'd
little
be
film.
funny if it was like, "Hey guys, we don't have to talk about the movie. Let me tell you about the real shit."
Yeah.
Oh man, I could go on. I could, but
You see, even like the sound, I can even like the soundtrack. Like it was like I don't know, it was annoying to me for some reason. Like at
It's like
the end,
they were building up too long.
well, at
It was
the
like,
end, whenever you think like, okay, so you killed a bad guy, it's over, and they
hmm
go to that, I don't know, a monk's house or some shit. I don't know where they were at, and then I guess the rest of the gang show up. Somehow they knew where they were at. I don't know how they knew. But the music they were playing there, it was like it had some like they were trying to add some like sound effects to it to like make it intense. It was just annoying. I don't know.
I got you.
it should have been like us doing, ha, ha, ha,
Yeah.
ha, ha, ha.
I mean, I've seen worse, obviously.
Yeah.
But I
Oh
guess I
yes.
was just expecting. I guess I was going into it expecting a horror movie, like with some kind of goat monster or spider tit or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think I was just kind of let down that it
Oh, if
was.
they use Spider Tit, they have a
Yeah,
lawsuit.
I was just
Yeah, they do.
let down that it was hostile in Mexico, and that was it.
Yeah.
Hostile Mexico.
It did have that feel. You're right. I ain't gonna fault you for that. Yeah, it did. It had that hostile feel. Um, but someone read about this or knew about this story, and they just like, hey, we'll do elements of the story, and then we'll do elements of like hostile. Because in hostile, the two friends try to go find their other friend.
Yeah, no,
Like,
that's what
where
happens
is
in
he?
this one.
Yeah. So I get where you're coming from on that. I guess maybe they just
Well, I think my other problem too with the way they done it, where we're basically focused on these three friends,
mm-hmm.
is I don't give a shit about any of these people. They weren't likable characters. I didn't care.
Yeah.
Like
Unless his name was Sean Hunter, I don't give a
yeah,
fuck.
like it would have been really good if it would have been like so we open up with these three characters, whatever they're partying somewhere and they decide to go to Mexico to do whatever, and they get down there and all three of them get killed by this cult, and now we're just following like the cult or whatever, or
mm-hmm.
the cop investigating it, and we show more of the cult, more of the. I think it would have been better.
Well,
I
I
just got
think we should.
bored
I
with these
think we
three
should
characters.
remake it, guys.
Yeah.
We should do it
We'll get the same people to start it, but it'll be differently.
because they really weren't telling you much about the cult at all. You know what I'm saying? You didn't learn a lot about them.
No, I thought the bald guy was in charge of it all.
That's what I thought.
Well, I suggest people go and look into the real story, and it's a lot more horrifying than
I wonder if
that movie.
I wonder if there was a unsolved mysteries episode about this because it happened in like what 85,
89.
89.
Yeah. No, but there's plenty of true crime stuff out there for it. And it's very interesting. It's very horrific and it's interesting.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of
yeah.
that real stuff is it's pretty crazy. Like when it comes to like serial killers and cultists and stuff. I remember reading about the serial killer, and at one of the victims' house, he had written with her blood, with the woman's blood, I think, and it says, "Please catch me" or something, so I don't do this again or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Crazy shit out, yeah. Some
Yeah,
crazy
there's
shit out there.
some awful human beings out there.
Oh yeah. I just thought like I said when I was reading about what it was based on, I was like,
Mhm.
man, that's like a lot more interesting than what we got in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Like the whole them believing that whatever they were doing was making their cars invisible and
Yeah, you
and that they
clearly
were
see. Oh my God! Clearly, they could have see by people's reaction that they weren't fucking invisible.
Well, that's just blind faith, man. That's all it
Yeah.
was.
yeah, no.
It's blind faith.
Well, I guess it could have had a lot to do with like if you like you said, if a lot of the cops were paid off and were just not do anything about it, then they probably thought, hey, we're invisible.
If something's weird, don't worry about it. It's the cult. Let them do their thing.
You know, the scary thing about that whole story is they probably could have gone for a lot longer, but they killed an American student.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
screwed them over. That they screwed themselves over. They got too confident because they would just pick up, just vagrants or little kids and they would do their thing and no one really,
They
really
probably
did
do it.
anything about it.
Yeah, they probably did it because they were like people they were getting were like poor.
Yeah, they were. So they're like, oh, okay, well, that kid probably ran away or is in a different, town or whatever. And then they cross that line, man. And it's kind of a good thing because they got caught sooner than later.
Yeah.
But I think there's like 13 confirmed murders that they did, but they suspect it's in upper 20s that these people did this stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'd definitely say this could be done a lot better than what they did, but I don't know. I'll never be able to do it, so if anyone else is listening and wants to
remake this
remake
movie.
Borderland, make it more interesting, it's definitely got a good like base story to build off
Yeah,
of.
for real.
If you go more off the cult side of it, it would definitely be a better movie.
Oh yeah, way more interesting.
All right, so Billy,
Yes.
final thoughts on Borderland.
It was okay movie. It kept my interest. Some of the acting was for me, like definitely with like the one of the main dudes. Had good special effects. Like y'all said, wish they'd done more with the cult. I give this movie probably 5 or 6 pretty goods out of 10.
All right, Mr. Poe.
I will give it 5 Ngangas. Yeah, I'll give it a 5 just for, like I said, the camera work, gritty and everything. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And gore was pretty much on point. And just the crazy story they kind of pieced together from Hostel and the actual story, I thought was, not great, but yeah, I really dug it. So yeah, 5 Ngangas.
I will give it 4 machetes through the Achilles heel. I forgot that was a scene in there when they.
Yes.
They did the writer strong.
Yeah, right before they killed him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, it was. Apparently, I'd watched it twice and didn't know that.
We watched so much crap.
So there's that. But yeah, like I said, I didn't like the characters. I would have been more interested in seeing the cult side of it more than just these 3 guys running around Mexico looking for each other. I think it could have been a lot more brutal and a lot more grittier than what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And since it is based on a true story, maybe there's another movie out there that's already been made based on the same thing that I can try to track down. But watched it twice. I probably won't watch it again though. So
one or twice is enough.
Yeah.
Twice is enough.
And the one time you remember.
Yeah, the one time I remember, which was today. Yeah, I would recommend people seek out any kind of documentary about the true events and not this movie. Or unless you can find another version of the movie that's better.
No, I agree with that. Most definitely.
All right, so Billy, where can Ray find you on the internet?
I think
He's everywhere.
I'm everywhere. I think I'm on Doom on Twitter and Doom on the Slasher app.
There's a new username that's free now you can use.
What's that?
Real Donald Trump.
Real Donald
You can use
Trump.
that now because it's free. No one's using that one at the moment.
They're not? They took his name.
Yeah. So I say you pick that name up. That'll help us reach more people on Twitter.
Podcast from Beneath is the best podcast from
Yeah.
Beneath.
No one's ever heard a podcast like this ever. Plus, we could pick up the QAnon crowd. So.
Yeah.
We could. And they'll believe anything.
Yeah.
Those
We
boys
tell-
over
we-
there are superb, real good people. I really enjoy a podcast from beneath. Very nice gentlemen over there.
We could tell them that a movie's good and it's actually shit. And they'll be like, yeah, this is a good movie.
America's Deadliest Home Videos is the best movie ever.
Oh my
Yes,
god!
that's- yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't watch that.
Danny Bonaducci.
There you go.
Bonadouche.
Mr. Poe.
Bonaducci.
I'm just going to shout out a couple of things real quick. Myself, they call me Mr. Poe on Slasher and Twitter. Check my Sci-Fi Sideshow out. New episode already aired by the time this comes out. But Sci-Fi Sideshow, 8 p.m. on B Movie TV Sundays. And, get the B Movie TV on-demand app. They have just a plethora of movies, awesome old action, sci-fi, everything, B movies. And, of course, our lovely dollar sponsors, Mad Hatter's Boards. You got some pins laying around, some enamel pins, some collector stuff. Get a nice board to put it on. Mad Hatter's Boards. Check them out on Facebook.
Yeah, I would just keep mine in a shoebox, so I may have to get one.
Yes. Oh, we have to hook you up with one.
Yeah. What else is coming to movie TV?
Oh yeah. And and this is already aired by the time this comes out, but we have our little show here on Saturdays at 4 p.m. We got the 4 p.m. slot. Check us out. You can watch the videos of these episodes, and I believe this one will even be on there. So yeah, we're gonna start airing these episodes out there. So B Movie TV, download it. Roku only for right now. I know they've been talking about other stuff. So but right now it's only available on Roku. Get a Roku.
Get a Roku. Get a fucking
Yes.
Roku.
Everybody get a Roku. They're only like $20 at Walmart. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, why haven't you got one yet?
Support our show.
Yeah. Support our show by buying t-shirts
Yeah,
at our
t-shirts
T-Public
and-
store.
Support us by just giving us money because you
Yeah,
feel
you can
like
do
it.
that too. Yeah,
Just
you
throw
can
money at us. No.
Yeah.
You can do that through PayPal. You can just send us money.
Oh, there you
Just
go.
PayPal us some money if you want.
What's the PayPal? I don't even know it.
It's just our email address.
Oh, that's it. Oh,
podcastfrombeneath@gmail.com. Or you can
No,
find us on
I'm-
Twitter. Or you can find us on Facebook. We got the groups. We got the pages. And we got the Instagram. And we got a bunch of other stuff that we don't ever use. So we're out there in other places.
I think we get more out of our Facebook group, and you know what? I want to
Which
thank everybody.
is sad because I really hate Facebook. That's the only reason I have my account now, so I can continue to post about, I'm saying? Like, I don't need to post anything else on there.
Well, I want to thank everybody that's on the Facebook group. Thank you so much for being on there, and we try to keep y'all up to date with everything. So
We try to and fail miserably.
you do a good job, Carrie. You post the new episodes when they come out. People know about them.
Well, Podbean does that automatically, so
Oh, well, then you're
basically-
useless then. Never mind.
I basically do nothing. All right, well, until next week, we will continue to watch the good, the bad, and the cheaply made.